First off, slight spoilers for last night's Dynamite. I'm going to go into a few details about that as we are discussing the main event, but you probably already know what the main event of All In is by now. And the other thing is, if you want to check out all my content coverage of All In London, there will be a playlist above my face where you can check out every video that I have done on All In Wembley. Please check that out. Please subscribe as we dive into the first official match announced for AEW All In. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about AEW All In London, in particular the main event and what that main event could mean for the event and for AEW going forward. But before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I will try and reply to every single one of them as we dive into the main event. So on last night's Dynamite, MJF came out and he was a full babyface. He is full babyface MJF now with Adam Cole, and it is glorious. I always thought the MJF character would work as a babyface. All he needs to do is just tweak the way he interacts with fans, because we all love him running down wrestlers. That's not the issue with him being a heel. It's the way he cheats and the way he interacts with the fans that gets him booed. But just twisting that a little bit, and he is one of the best babyfaces in the business. He cut an amazing babyface promo, calls out his friend Adam Cole, and sets up the match. So the match is set. The main event of All In London will be Adam Cole taking on MJF for the AEW World Championship. This is incredibly tantalizing for a few reasons. I think the first one that comes to mind is hearing Adam Cole baby in that stadium is going to be deafening. That's the first thing. I cannot wait for that. I've just got chills thinking about him doing the Adam Cole baby. And I think in terms of character work, it's going to be one of the most heartbreaking events in the history of professional wrestling. And I'll tell you exactly why. I think there's numerous ways they can go with this MJF Adam Cole storyline. But if you're going to do the turn, which we all know is coming, you do it at Wembley. I think, particularly with what MJF said last night, if Adam Cole turns on MJF in Wembley, it will break MJF. It will truly break MJF, because he is suffering that humiliation that he felt all those years ago when the bullies were throwing the quarters at him, once again in front of the biggest wrestling crowd in the world. And that, to me, is so exciting for the MJF character. Even if he potentially loses the title as well, I think there's so much story to tell with him losing the title and then going on a babyface chase and getting redemption against Adam Cole, because we all think it's going to be MJF who does the turn, but I don't think it is. I think it is set up perfectly for Adam Cole to turn on MJF, and I think it would work beautifully. The crushing realization that his one friend in the world just turned his back on him in front of everyone that he's finally got on side with him would break him, and it would be the most exciting story in professional wrestling right now. I was thinking about this when I was watching the Adam Cole MJF segment. Obviously the Bloodline stuff is amazing, but that's like blockbuster to me, and this feels like an indie darling story about friendship, about brotherhood, and the insecurities of MJF character, which I think is just told to perfection. He is the best wrestler in the world right now, hands down. For character work, in-ring work, he is perfect. I think that will be the closing angle of All In, will be the heel turn from Adam Cole. And I think it's going to be crushing. I think it's going to be absolutely crushing. I think the match itself is going to absolutely kill. I think it's going to be one of the best matches ever. And the fact that I'm going to be there live is just mind-blowing at the moment, to see this sort of come to fruition in a way that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to All In to be sort of multi-man matches building to All Out, but it looks like they're going all in on All In. And we finally got the first match announcement, and I'm so excited if you can't tell. Best story in wrestling, per me, is the Adam Cole MJF stuff, and I'm so excited to see how it played out. Now, there's a few other ways it could go. I think there's actually interesting character ways to go. I think I want to see Adam Cole win the belt at Wembley. I think it'd be interesting if he turns heel on MJF, or if he cheats in the same, MJF goes to cheat and then Adam Cole rolls him up in a particular way, similar to how MJF would cheat, and he wins like that, and they still remain semi-friends. I think there's a way you can go down that avenue. I think what is great about this story is that it has so many wrinkles to it, and we can expect so much from these two guys. So I'm so excited for this match. I cannot wait. Literally counting down the days. So shall we dive into some of the other matches that are potentially being listed for All In? There were about 3 that I looked and saw the other day. So you've got potentially FTR versus the Bucks is being set up. That is one that I would be, again, mind blown that we get the, I think it's the third FTR Young Bucks match. I think if you want to go all out with the tag stuff, you do that. Whether they'll fully do that, because obviously FTR and CM Punk, all that brawl out stuff, whether that'll happen, we'll see. So, probably one of the strangest ones that's sort of been set up on last night's Dynamite was potentially getting Jack Perry versus Rob Van Dam, which I don't think anyone was expecting. Like, if you had a bingo card, anyone who got Rob Van Dam versus Jack Perry would just be a millionaire, because that is a long shot. I'm excited for that potentially, but I don't know, because obviously Rob Van Dam hasn't really been in AEW much, so bringing him in just for this one show, I get star power and all that, but at the same time I'd like to see like AEW stars on the show, if that makes sense. Which leads into the other match that is potentially being listed, and that is Jeff Jarrett taking on Grado, which, to be honest, I'm just utterly thrilled for Grado. Anyone who watched World of Sport, he was like the through line for that 10-episode run. I think it was him and Justin Sizem. Is that his name? I think that's his name. They were sort of like big through lines of that, and he's a huge part of the British wrestling scene. So to see him get his flowers on a massive stage like Wembley against Jeff Jarrett, which was set up on, I think, a Give Me Sport interview, is really cool. I'm really happy for Grado, and I think it'll be magnificent fun when he appears at All In. And they're the few matches that I've heard listed. There might be some more floating about there in the ether. Obviously, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay is one that I've heard about, which could be very interesting. I'd be really intrigued to see how that plays out. But as for Kenny Omega, he's the absentee that I haven't really seen much about. I would have thought maybe Takeshita, but that could be an all-out program. I don't know what you do with Kenny at Wembley. The only thing I can really think of is maybe do a tag match with him and Kota Ibushi taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Chris Jericho, maybe. But if Chris Jericho's tied up with Ospreay, I don't know. I don't know what you do with Omega at All In. But those are the matches. I'm so excited. One match confirmed officially. We'll probably get more on Rampage, probably get more on Collision as well. So I'm hugely excited. Literally counting down the days. And I cannot wait, if you can't tell. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you going? Are you looking forward to this match? Let me know everything you want down in the comments, and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.